How many of you use services like LoveFilm or Blinkbox or iPlayer? A bit of show of hands if you use any of those. Okay, right. A lot of us use those services. And how many of you have, let's say, a Virgin set-top box? Any Virgin users here? A few of you, right. So probably about 15, 16 months ago, we were trying to watch a movie at home. We've got a Virgin box, and we were like, oh my God, this just takes so long to find something. The interface is awful. And then we could be watching something on LoveFilm, or we could be looking at what's on iPlayer, but then we've got to, look at these different places. And then we don't know whether the films are any good because they're listed typically in alphabetical order. So we maybe got a cross-reference with IMDb or something like that. And we basically thought we could build something better. So what we built is Tank Top Movies, which I'll show you now. And then we've also currently working on bringing TV box sets into it as well. So there's three kind of main scenarios that we're looking at here. One is, it's Friday night, we want to watch a film. What is on and what is good? So we have this kind of mosaic of all the movies that are available on a lot of different services. We currently list actually, I think it's 18 different services, or you might count them, it might be 19, I'm not quite sure. Some of them are free services, some of them are subscription, some of them are the pay-as-you-go ones. We pull together all the films that are available. We order them, basically trying to put good recent films near the top of the list, so hopefully you can find something you like. And if you see something that catches your eye and you think, yeah, I want to watch, Life of Pi, that looks good, let's go and watch it on, oh, I don't think I clicked the right place there, sorry. It will take us to the right place in Blinkbox where we can just go and buy that movie. And we've got all the information there about, how good it is, a bit of information about the film. We've got more details if we want to get into it, comments and all this kind of stuff. The second scenario is, okay, if I want to watch a particular film, but I don't know where it's playing. So somebody think of a film that's maybe not super recent, so it might be out on demand. Braveheart, okay, so here we go. Okay, so if you want to watch Braveheart, you can find it on Virgin, Film 4 or Blinkbox, all more or less around the same price. So if you were, looking for it on LoveFilm or you're looking for it on Netflix, well, Netflix we don't know about, that's a whole separate story, but LoveFilm, it's not there. And that's actually one of the interesting things. There are probably about 13,000 movies that we know about. 12,000 of those are available on iTunes, maybe 2,000 on LoveFilm, 2,000 on Netflix, 6,000 on Blinkbox, something like that. So it's really different size catalogues on all these different services, and they've all licensed different content. And then the third thing that we sort of envisaged was that idea that you've seen a poster for something and you've missed it at the cinema, but you want to know when you could watch it at home. So we have this concept of adding something to a watch list. I'm not really going to leave Braveheart on my watch list, but so I can get a notification when that appears on a service that I use. And something that we're starting to see a bit of traction with is data. So telling the film industry, for example, if you're one of the big film studios, you know how much your content costs on the services that you sell it to, but you probably have a bunch of interns sitting in the office finding out how much your competitors are charging for their movies. So we're getting some traction with that kind of industry data. We can get really carried away thinking about, oh, but we could license the interface to set-top box people or TV manufacturers and all these different things that kind of go into the weeds of different industries that we're a little bit, we've got to focus on, certain things. So basically any additional ideas about monetization, very welcome. But then the second question that that we often get asked is, this is a website, why don't you do an app? And the question is, should we do an app? Would you use something like this more if it was an app versus if it was a site? I should say that it does look pretty nice on a tablet. It's okay on a phone. It's responsive design. So would that actually make a difference, do you think? those are my questions to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Two things immediately. The Braveheart thing absolutely underlines it. I want there to be collections on here. I want there to be people who I trust who can tell me the films that they like, because there's a million sorts of films out there. Love films full of horror. I'm not interested, but you know.
I shall show you a little thing. I'm afraid it is sort of horror, but it's this idea.
Doesn't matter, no, as long as someone can put together collections.
Yeah.
That they can talk about the films. They might educate me as to, you know, that would be something. There's so many rubbish films you can watch.
Yeah.
A few nuggets.
That does lead to a good question. Would you want to be able to sort of follow other people's tastes like that?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Because,
Okay.
you know, then, you know, there's 30, 40 films released a month. They might be saying, this month I would see this if I only saw one film.
Or the underdog model of other people like this, printing of other people who bought this like this.
Yeah. We've got a sort of prototype of that at the moment. It sort of works really well for the most popular films, but after, you know.
I find the Amazon one quite hit and miss it. So, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Don't think we've quite got enough data to totally nail that yet, because we want it to be great if we do it.
IMDb do it quite well, though, don't they? I think.
At IMDb, I have so much more data though.
Is there any way you could maybe do something with that?
With $30,000, yes.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is, I mean, you're effectively pointing customers at all of those services.
Yeah.
Will they not pay you a click-through rate?
Some of them do give us an affiliate deal, and some of them, there's actually one of them that's desperately trying to set one up for us, which is nice.
Well, I would have thought if you can get some scale, then they will be quite...
Yeah. I think it's
Because-
such tiny margins for each film though, so it's, you know,
Yeah, a lot of films get watched if you're genuinely useful.
yeah,
And a lot of television gets watched if you can do television well.
yeah,
Because as soon as anything commercial appears on there, and I get the feeling that I'm being shown the films that they want me to watch and not the films that I'm interested in,
yeah.
then, you know, there's a whole sort of, maybe
Yeah.
this is just an advert site.
Can I actually, it doesn't kind of, can I get a little show of hands of whether you think this would actually be useful to you, or whether you're kind of, like, don't put your hand up if you think, no, actually I can't be bothered because I'm happy with what I already currently look at. So if you think you would actually find it useful. Oh, that's brilliant, thank you, brilliant, awesome. Right. I'm going to expect like 40 more sign-ups tomorrow morning.
I think what you said at the start, actually, with the ratings, was quite struck a nerve with me. I mean, I make a watch list on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to decide what to watch, I usually have to look up the film on IMDb and check it's not going to be shit. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it'd be good to. I don't know. You've got ratings. I saw you hovered over
Yeah.
some of the titles. Is that
Oops, sorry,
pulled in
got the wrong
from
thing.
just your site or from elsewhere?
We actually get them from Rotten Tomatoes, so it's kind of combination user critic. Do we use one or the other? I can't remember.
I think that's the critic rating.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that kind of 84% is coming from
Yeah,
Rotten
because
Tomatoes.
that's something you don't really get with things like Netflix. You get like the stars, but you've no idea where they've come from, and
Yeah.
there's no real proper percentage or anything. So that's something I would be swayed to use it for, basically. Yeah.
Cool.
There must be a lot of film buff bloggers.
Yes.
If you approach the film buff bloggers and said, you can put your collection on our site and we'll link you back and all that sort of stuff, then the film buff bloggers might get you lots of sign-ups.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be a virtuous circle.
Yes.
maybe.
Yes. We're just sort of embarking on exactly that thought. With the lists are still in a bit of a kind of clunky. You have to fill in a form and tell us, and we set them up, kind of a thing. But yeah, the film bloggers are, we hope, an untapped market. Yeah. Thank you.